Welcome back to the Brew Crew podcast, everyone. This is episode 121, the palindrome of episode numbers.
11 times 11.
It will only happen 10 times in the next, 100 episodes, or 90 episodes, 80 episodes.
80 episodes.
It happened at 111. We just didn't mention it.
And 101.
At 101.
And then you can flip that too, 101.
You can flip it
upside
down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, if you don't put the little hat on, the little brim. But... message of the day. Any given Sunday. It's all it takes. It's all it takes when you only have to win one. Well, you have to win three, but when you only have to win one game.
Right.
To move on. Any given Sunday. And that's what I'm living my life by that right now. Any given Sunday. Al Pacino. Jamie Foxx.
It's
any given Sunday.
Usually I'm good at feeding off this, but I failed.
You weren't. I didn't tell you before.
No, and that was good because we said very few words. So
we did. We really.
There's even
right
less pre-production,
yeah.
But I failed my groundlings test there, where you play off somebody else. I was just staring off into the distance. So we're in the playoffs.
We're in the playoffs. The throws.
You had the throws, and again, I just read a quip. Talking about it. If it's not, because both of our teams are in the playoffs, if it's not our teams that win, I'm rooting for Alex Smith.
Okay.
Because
that's fair. I like Alex Smith.
I agree that they should name the Comeback Player of the Year award after him. 17 surgeries.
Yeah.
Maybe an amputation. Maybe you'd never walk again. Definitely maybe not play football again.
Yeah, could have died.
He led his team. Granted, that division should usurp their playoff rights, I think.
Of course. Yeah.
But the fact that he led, and they released their first round draft pick just last year. They released him just a couple weeks ago. So it's really all fallen on him, and he's leading his sub 500 team into the playoffs.
It sure is. Yeah.
Go Washington football team.
The division setup is pretty bizarre. It does to football what the Electoral College does to voting, which we don't have to talk politics, but I'm saying, the best teams, those with the most wins, don't always get in. And it would make, the NFL would benefit from going to more of a just two divisions system.
Still
or two conferences.
Conferences.
Yeah, conferences.
I like that. I do like the rivalries.
Yes, that's true. I do like the rivalries.
And this can you name another conference in football or another division in football where everyone's rival is one team? Because I would argue that everyone's rival in the Central or the North for NFC is the Packers.
I think that...
maybe Dallas.
I think that's not true. I think the Bears and the Packers are a rivalry. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the Bears have sucked of late. But I think if the Bears were good, and when they were good, that held true for Green Bay fans. Mm-hmm. But I think that the Vikings and the Lions, they flip. It depends on who's... Because sometimes I hear people say that the Lions' rival is the Vikings, or that the Bears' next rival is the Vikings. We don't give a shit about the Vikings. Almost ever. So
I will 100% say my base is in Minnesota. I'm a member of the Flying Vikings. Number one, far and away, the division rival is Green Bay. It's not.
So even if Green Bay was terrible, they would still consider Green Bay the rival.
100%, because there's a lot of older people in my squadron because the reserves trend towards the older.
You've been there, I haven't. So it makes sense.
But it's still a small pool. But even then, they will harken back to the 70s and early 80s when the Packers were absolutely atrocious.
Yeah. Okay. And they still were.
And
still hated
that was still
all right, cool.
That was still the rival. Now Lions fans, I don't have as many friends that are Lions fans. I have some family members. I have Mr. B, where they get on their high horse when it happens.
Right.
But I think I just know that because they come to me knowing that I'm a Packer fan.
Yeah.
So that I won't count as much. But the only other division I see that is maybe because the hatred for Dallas.
Yeah. That's more nationwide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's something I've just, because the AFC West, I've had this conversation with Craigo. That varies depending on who's on top, who's on bottom.
Yeah.
But so, anyways, maybe I'm just close-minded.
I think I was thinking of the NL Central. Because a lot of people, even Cubs fans, will say that the Cubs' rival currently is the Brewers.
No, it's
always
the Cardinals. It's always the Cardinals.
Want
it's not
anyone
close.
that ever say that it's the Brewers. And I don't get why they say it, but I mean, I do because the Brewers are good. They have good players.
For like a cup of coffee.
Yeah, for a cup of coffee. They were good.
Yeah.
And I think we see each other more. I think Cubs fans and Milwaukee fans, they
is that a
cross
proximity
paths
thing?
More.
But it's Cubs Cardinals.
It's always going to be Cubs Cardinals. And I don't ever want to hear otherwise.
If you say Cubs Brewers, you automatically get notched down in a baseball conversation with me, because that is not true. It's like 80% the rivalry for the entire division is Cubs Cardinals.
Well, here,
and then
let's do an experiment.
there might be like 5% for the Cubs Brewers.
Yeah. Who's the Brewers' rival? Do they have one?
Themselves.
Here, let's do an experiment, and this will tell you everything you need to know.
Maybe the Twins is a fun one for us.
Oh, yeah.
From the western part of the state.
And they schedule that much like the Cubs Sox, right? It happens every year?
Yeah, so now it does. But like in interleague, that was really special, like coming up. That was an awesome deal. And considering that the college that myself and a lot of my good friends went to was a lot of Mud Ducks.
Mud Ducks?
Yeah, so people from Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I never heard that.
Well, they're Mud Ducks. Quick history lesson. They're Mud Ducks because... land of 10,000 lakes.
Yeah.
Well, some of their lakes are actually ponds, so their ducks drag their asses in the mud. Mm-hmm. So mud.
Oh, okay. That was one of only 2 schools that accepted me when I applied.
Yeah, the U of M. Yep.
Yeah. It's the Beavers. What are they?
The Gophers.
Gophers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't remember.
My accent really came out there. The Gophers.
I couldn't remember the mascot, but I was really excited to go to a Big Ten football school.
The nice thing with their beautiful campus, their transit ways are underground. So in the winter, you don't have to go out in the elements.
But much better.
Yeah. I didn't know that about Wright State.
Oh,
so
yeah.
They have an underground.
Underground. It's walk only. No driving or anything.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You can get to every building at Wright State underground.
Never knew that. If you complain about the cold at Wright State, one, you're a gigantic pussy, and two, go a little further. But
I never knew that. Are so close that the wind doesn't get through in the middle if you stay in the courtyard.
Yeah, it's not like the Air Force Academy with the infamous terrazzo. Like,
I don't know.
There's one pet, so they don't, like their big parade.
Yeah.
Just open and up in the mountains. The campus is 4 feet below the mile high, so it's 4 feet less.
Okay.
And they have one path like through the terrazzo where everyone walks the path to not screw up their shoes and shit.
Okay.
So they don't like plow that.
Oh, wow.
So it's just like one path.
What?
Cut through like foot.
It's efficiency.
So, yeah.
Yeah. When you wear shine shoes, you find ways.
Oh yeah.
To make them last.
You will.
Yeah, you will.
Walk around in Kleenex boxes.
Oh yeah.
But so you were going to give me a short test. We got
experiment. Just say the names of the 2 NL Central teams that we just talked about, not including the Cubs. Just the 2.
The Cardinals, Brewers.
Yeah. So say one at a time.
Brewers.
Oh, sounds fun. Yeah.
Cardinals.
Fuck them. And that's all you need to know. That's how Cubs. I do want to go to Busch Stadium, and I hear it's a fun time.
Yeah.
But it's one of those
that's a baseball
mean
town.
Fun times.
That's
you have to have a thick skin. Yeah.
100%. And when the Blues won the Cup, it's a little bit of a hockey town. Obviously, it's not a football town anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a baseball town through and through, and there's no it's like Green Bay's a football town.
Yeah, right.
But the much larger scale. And then fuck Budweiser, but that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, a whole different thing. Well, that's it.
I like that we got to bust our sports nut there a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you have for beer news?
Yeah, so I bring that up, and I'm glad that you mentioned the NFC North. The Anheuser-Busch, I believe it was.
Look at that.
You got the story?
No.
Okay.
No pre-production. I have no stories.
I think it was Anheuser-Busch. Oh, man, I should have sent myself the story.
Yeah.
Between the... I think it's Miller Coors.
Yeah, Miller Coors.
Is there anybody in Michigan that's like a big brewer? Not like, I'm not talking Founders, but like...
That's a big production?
Big time, yeah.
No, not
okay.
that. No.
So it might be Miller Coors because they picked the Lions and the Broncos. They said whoever kicks the longest field goal of the season, that city will get $1 beers for like a month. And Matt Prater, he won.
Which is interesting because where did Matt Prater play before the Lions?
Oh, was he in?
He was in Denver.
In Denver, I didn't know that.
Where he kicked, a record. And the interesting thing with Matt Prater is Matt Prater is notorious for kind of being a drinker.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Then, yeah.
Back 2005 when the Pro Bowl. When Peyton Manning was famously quoted as, "Oh, my drunk kicker," Mike Vanderjagt, when he
I remember
because he was the most accurate kicker at that point in time. Granted, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But he's like, "Yeah, my drunk kicker, just mouthing off," or what, And that was when they were ousted from the AFC. It was probably one of the Brady years, but 2005 because it was odd years. Matt Prater was a long time Denver Broncos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have a lot of kicker knowledge.
After Jason Elam.
Okay.
So they had spoils of kickers, especially considering that's an outdoor stadium.
Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting. So if you're in Michigan, or I'm guessing just Detroit, or the county maybe, I'm not sure what the border is, dollar beers.
Wayne County.
Wayne County.
All
right, good to know. Wayne County, you get dollar beers. And if you're a Browns fan, you have Cody Parkey as your kicker, and I'm sorry, but you will be heading into the fourth quarter winning. They'll tie it, and you'll need a field goal to win, and he'll double doink it, and that'll be the end of your playoff hopes. Sorry, Browns fans.
Is that an allusion to something? I can't remember.
Yeah, 2018 Bears.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts. It sucked. I can't believe Cody Parkey plays in the league, but that's not beer.
So I had one thing that I just kind of wanted to bounce off you. So I was reading about packaging trends.
Okay.
So I thought it relates to you specifically because of the can art boner segment.
Yeah.
So packaging being in everything that was talked about in this trend was can related. Mm-hmm. I didn't see bottles or anything.
Yeah.
So there's 4 trends.
Okay. 4 trends. We do talk about this packaging stuff. This is relevant to the show.
I'm not going to have you guess because the litany. So I'm just gonna bounce them off of you. The first one was story-driven cans.
Okay.
So the example they used is one can doesn't have the entire story. Like it's a mural. Like you have to set 5 or 6 cans. Uh-huh. So that's an upward trend.
Oh, okay.
And so the first one I think about locally here is Warped Wing. Warped Wing did it with their flyer. The Trotwood is more of a generic Gamma Bomb where if you set them all up consecutively, it was like a mural, a small-scale mural, or more of a story. Okay. So is there any other brewers that you think of or that maybe we've had, sorry to put you on the spot, that are more... Because we've seen it. Yeah,
Listerman will package multiple different can arts of the same beer, but I've never actually looked to see if there's a story there.
Yeah.
That's on me. But I have gotten 4-packs where there's 2 different arts.
Yeah.
Listerman.
But are they like consecutive?
I don't think they're consecutive, but they may be like frames in a comic book, just different story. Same story.
Yeah.
Different art altogether.
So, that's got to raise the production expense.
I'm guessing, yeah.
Because then you have
artists,
multiple,
the cans.
Artists. I didn't even think of the artists. I was thinking of the production line. So that was the first trend. The second one is product names front and center. So taking up some of your art space or finding a more creative way to incorporate your name. So like if you're bullshit brewing, there's, but instead of like putting it on like the lip or the crown of the can, which will be one of our beers today, putting it just like, front and center. Like I remember back in the day, like I'm looking at a Miller Lite can right now where it was strewn across the can, from going upward to the right when you read it. But so that's something I think, any of the Chuggalos can think that's, even though that's a trend, I guess I can't remember 10 years ago, like, did you just have to find or really look for?
Yeah.
Because like Three Floyds, I guess they've always put it kind of on the crown. Sometimes they put it, but it's more the name of the beer as opposed to the producer's name.
That's really got me thinking about these cans. So there's a couple brewers that I would say they've done something a little different than that.
Yeah.
Which is they've branded their cans similarly.
Okay.
So if you see a Rheingeist can, it's Rheingeist. You don't 100%. Even have to see Rheingeist on it. I think if you see a Dogfish Head beer, typically, it's a Dogfish Head. And that's recent. I think they've just done that. They don't do can art. They just put, whatever. Am I thinking of... Yeah. No, I'm thinking Brewdog.
Brewdog.
Not a Dogfish Head. And then I've just recently realized that I can identify a Founders beer without seeing Founders on it.
Really?
It's mostly their bottles, though.
Yeah, because
I think it's all the bourbon barrels.
I can look at the topper.
Yeah.
Founder's topper. It's that faded crown.
Yeah, and the same thing with who makes like the Commodore.
Great Lakes.
Great Lakes. I know Great Lakes beer when I see one. Yeah, there's a couple who've branded themselves really well. They've done consistent artwork, or they've done similar fonts. Or in Rheinguy's case, they do like a pattern and a logo. But having your name strewn across the can, you're missing. I think you're just missing out on an opportunity to sell more cans.
Yeah, and we played that art game back this last spring when we were socially distanced, and it lended itself to where I blocked out the name of it to see if you guys could identify it by the art. Maybe I should look into creating a contemporary one.
Yeah.
But there, back when there was 30, 40 beers, a little more easy than now, where like you said, a Rheinguy's can or whatever, it would be. I could find something from Walla Walla, Washington, but you're not going to have a chance because you've never heard of, Poker in the Butt, brewing company. So that was the second one. The third one is anatomically inked drawings. So I'm glad you brought up Dogfish Head. So like chromatic drawings. The example they gave was 120 minutes. So it's like a black on a copper, and it's just a hop flower.
Yeah.
So just taking something that exists in the real world, and putting it on your can, not a picture of it, but just an artist rendering of it. So I can see that too. And they use the example that I have the most of it, which is like 120 minutes.
So like realism or whatever.
Realism, yeah. I guess that would be more
like painting a bowl of fruit.
Exactly.
But on a can.
But not like Pablo Picassoing fruit.
Yeah, no abstract stuff.
So, and then the fourth one, and Chuggalos, you can, think about this stuff too, is organic shapes or color blocking. And this is just, partridge, I like to say partridge family, overlapping,
partridge family type
different
stuff,
sized. Everyone, that's probably over the age of 30 knows when I say partridge family, they know the colored blocks, just happenstanced. My daughter put together a stained glass window project, and it was just tissue paper of different sizes, and you just glued it all down.
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yeah, and Untitled Art does a lot of that. Their biggest block is white, but the other colors kind of represent their beers. Their fruited sours are going to be more of your reds and your purples, sometimes yellow, but then then it evolves into depending on the type of beer it is.
Yeah. You could probably assign like an artist to each of those. Like I'm thinking now, if you take each of those categories. Now I don't know a lot of artists, so these artists are probably going to be like either really low hanging.
I did take an art history class for my major.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking. Okay, so you probably got like a Frank Lloyd Wright / maybe I don't know for the Partridge Family one. Definitely, you have the shapes, and then the realism one, the hops. You could almost go with like an Andy Warhol. He just paints real shit for some reason. And then the story one, the long story one, wasn't it Da Vinci who painted that really long Last Supper?
Yeah.
That would be something I think he'd be into. Who painted the Last Supper? Did Da Vinci paint?
It was one of the turtles.
He painted the Mona Lisa.
Because Michelangelo did the Sistine.
I'm thinking, these Angelos and all the Ninja Turtles I'm thinking of. But it wasn't them. It was Da Vinci.
Yeah.
Who painted something. Or was it... Yeah, Leonardo da Vinci, Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a long time since I've explored this topic.
It's crazy.
But I think you could probably... That'd be a cool theme, actually, for a brewery. Just do like an artist theme and just like mimic their art.
But like, would you just like... So let's say you have the Mona Lisa, Da Vinci's most famous painting.
Yeah.
Would you just copy it on there and just... What kind of... Something to think about while I grab our first beer.
The world's most famous painting, I argue.
The world's most looked upon painting.
Yeah, most looked upon.
What kind of beer would the Mona Lisa be?
What kind of beer would the Mona Lisa be? Certainly not a blonde. Maybe, I don't know, like a porter,
A porter. So you would go dark with it.
I'd go dark, but not overly thick.
So I I would go more of, since it's more known, it's got to be something like common. It can't be like something that's polarizing.
Okay, so yeah, you're going with the popularity.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of the woman.
So maybe, okay.
She's got kind of a smirk, but she's not really happy.
Ooh, so she's
got dark hair. Yeah, she's got secrets. What beer has secrets?
I would go, because I don't think it would be something I would drink. So I would go with something like a brown ale.
Okay.
But something that's globally known.
Yeah.
But it could be a surprise. There could be like a cigarette butt put out.
Maybe.
That's a surprise.
Yeah.
But yeah, that and the interesting thing about the Mona Lisa is no matter where you are in the room, she always looks like she's
There's a
looking
word
at
for
you.
that.
What's that?
I don't know it, but I'm saying there's a word
Like
for the
almost like
eyes
a
that
parallax?
follow you. Something like that. Yeah.
Well, the parallax is, like the
small hallway thing.
the small hallway or the
Yeah.
railroad tracks or whatever. But
Yeah.
I thought maybe trying to think. No, he definitely is looking the one way.
Oh yeah.
But anyways,
he's not looking even at us.
So just you come here for sports and you come here for art history.
That's right.
We bring all
Come
the
here for meta words.
meta words.
Words about words.
All right, so we've never had this. So the beer that we're drinking is from a little brewery. Hopefully they take off. Is Illuminated.
Hopefully they take off.
Yeah, I've never. So I could go into Illuminated's history, but we've done them on.
Oh yeah.
Episode 83, 107, 111, 39, and 72.
Wow. By this time, I think we need to they need to acknowledge us.
Yeah. So. Which is fantastic. I bought this can, and I've been sitting on it for a while. I bought this from Hall's, my local beer haunt. I bought this specifically just to hear what JT has to say about it.
Yeah.
So, but this is Kreeper, and it comes in a pint can, and it's a 6% IPA. 3, 2, 1.
I don't think I've had a straight IPA from Illuminated.
Everything's been gimmicks, right?
Have I really, I think, other than maybe having a boat show here and there, I haven't had like just an IPA. Something that brands itself as an IPA in quite a while. There's double IPAs, New England IPAs, this IPA, hazies, marshmallow this and that, and then these Citra ones. This is just like, we're an IPA.
I like that. You know what? We should throw that down
weird.
for a beer idea. This and that IPA.
This and that IPA.
Just whatever,
there's stuff in it.
Yeah, it's not a WIPA, it's not a NIEPA. Maybe it's, a this and that could be like a mid-coast, like,
Mid-coast.
Eliminated,
Ohio style.
Illuminated
IPA.
Ohio style. Illuminated could be like, because Chicago doesn't get more, the flyover states, if you will. But so anyways, I bought this specifically. I know like I said, this is the 6th Illuminated beer we've done, and we've done 121 episodes, so they're a high percentage, but they're a late bloomer besides 39. So we laid off of them for a while, but this specifically was bought for JT's eyes, and the way that Pat had it at Hall's is it's faced perfectly, and JT will go into that. I will actually walk it because I feel like it needs to be seen.
Okay.
This can, much like a Bourbon County Stout or something, needs to breathe. This can needs to be seen.
It needs to be seen
on the YouTubes.
Yes.
So anyways, I'm not going to go into the Illuminated history. I'm going to cede my time. Hopefully JT's had enough time to conceptualize what he's going to say. But
first things first. This is the Can Art Boner segment brought to you by...
Is it still Chuggalo Mom?
I believe it's Chuggalo Nicole.
Ooh, Chuggalo Nicole.
Yeah, thanks, Nicole. Gosh, I can't remember. It might be Dr. still. I don't want to rip him off.
I'll go once I flip back.
I have no idea. But so my first thought with this can was, I can hear this can. I feel like this guy only has one voice. And it's, who is it?
You have to check this can out on the YouTube.
If you're not watching, go check out the YouTube right at minute, whatever we're at, 12 or 20.
Minute 23.
23.
And it's Illuminated Kreeper.
Yeah.
Kreeper with a K. I might not have said that.
I don't know if you did. Kreeper with a K. This guy, oh, man, what is he sound, I can hear him in my head. If I'm trying to pinpoint like a name that people would recognize. Maybe like, I don't even know. I wish I could remember. But it's like, maybe almost like the narrator in Anchorman, who I know is a newsman. This is not a newsman. He could be. He's wearing a white suit. I'll just get to that. I just have this voice in my head, and it's him.
What is this guy's profession?
What is this guy's profession? Well, he's wearing a three-piece suit, and everything but the tie is white. So the vest is white, the jacket's white, the shirt's white. His teeth are very white.
I haven't koozied this can, so that should tell you how much I just think that this can's hilarious.
Yeah, it is. And he's an older man because he's got some... He doesn't really have like the crow's feet or anything, but he's got, his skin shows age. But he's got like Burt Reynolds hair, like little curly, bushy, 70s style Burt Reynolds. And he's got the mustache.
So the hair is the help me out. The Gibbs that Justin Timberlake and Jimmy Fallon parody on Saturday Night Live. It's just a man, like that white dude fro kept maintained. Like Mr. Brady from the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, Mr. Brady, because he's got sideburns.
Yeah.
So that contributes to Mr. Brady from the Brady Bunch. And he's wearing thick frame glasses, kind of like mine, but they're a little bit more round. And just thick brown mustache, thick brown eyebrows.
The Burt Reynolds is 100%.
Yeah. There's a Burt Reynolds-ness to this guy. He's happy, but there's an implied creepiness to this guy. One, because the name of the beer is Kreeper. And two, he is wearing an all-white three-piece suit. Which I think, if you could see more than just his, top, his bust, you'd be like, what's up with this guy?
Yeah.
Like, did he just come from a wedding, maybe?
Crap, minus the beard, though. Barry Gibb.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Barry Gibb. That's Bee Gees?
Yeah, no. It's just, you would know the song if I did it, but...
I don't know.
Anyways, they mock them, but...
Okay. They do a good job. Yeah. But anyway. So this guy, he's got a look. He's Kreeper. He's also got kind of a wrinkle in the middle of his forehead that looks like an upside-down cross. But that's just the shadow of a man who... furrows his eyebrows in joy because he's smiling and it has that. Usually it takes me like being mad to have some sort of middle wrinkle, but nope, this guy's happy. And his eyes are weird. And I don't feel like that was like an art render. I think that was on purpose. Like, I don't think that was like, oh, our artist just doesn't know how to draw eyes. Like, his eyes are almost like the glasses are popping them off his face.
Yeah, so... old-fashioned bifocal.
Yeah.
So before, but he didn't have the bifocals because that's two planes in the same frame.
Yeah.
It's the old,
like the Coke bottle.
Yeah, Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah, so that's what he's got going on. And for some reason he's happy, but he's looking in a direction that if I was to map it out, it's probably a woman's ass or a man's ass, whatever, some ass. He's checking an ass because he's a creeper. That's my assessment. I do like this can. I think the art's great. I think it has a... There was an episode of Bob's Burgers they did where they had like different... Every scene was a different style of cartoon. And I feel like this would fit in there. It doesn't fit the Bob's Burgers thing because no one in that show has a chin for some reason. But this would fit in like that episode where they did a bunch of different types of cartoon styles. This is a good can. Definitely catches your eye. And that's what I was saying about... Like, putting your name on the can, like, if they just said Illuminated on every can, we'd probably be like, nah. But there's something about this style of art where you're like, that beer's going to be good.
Yeah.
And we're wrong many times, but I think the can art is important. Okay, so that's the Can Art Bonus segment brought to you by either Chuggalo Nicole or Chuggalo Doctor. I can't remember. Now, the actual beer itself, so the first sip, I was like, this is definitely just an IPA. And that is not just an IPA. That's a good thing. Because we've gotten so many things lately. But then I looked at what the hops are. And I feel like we've had Meridian. But Hallertau Blanc, which I'm sure is pronounced with those L's being silent because it's probably like a French word. And Nelson Sauvin hops. I don't know these two sets of hops. Meridian, I think, is the only one I recognize. And it says, Kreeper wants to talk to you about your immortal self. Kreeper really wants to show you his pet reptile. Kreeper knows how you really feel. Kreeper is a delicious relic of those days when a man's worth was based upon the clarity of his IPA. Kreeper wants to be your best friend. And best is twice. I didn't just stutter. I'm following with the art matching the words until the reptile thing. I think someone who wants to show you the pet reptile looks a little different. They probably aren't wearing a suit like that. He's more of a Kreeper in like the gross uncle kind of way, I think. You know?
Come and sit on my knee.
Mm-hmm.
Pull up a chair.
So these hops, not completely familiar, but I will say that on the back of the tongue, right after you swallow and you're breathing out, there is a there's a Pilsnery like yeastness to it, and it's really unique, and I think it's really good. I mean, I don't think Illuminated does anything on accident. I think it's all, they know what they're doing.
It's educated.
They figured it out. They know what they're doing with these hops being mixed together. I've been really getting into some Pilsners lately. I've been seeing them and buying them. And that's the thing. Most Pilsners actually have like the worst can art. We should look at beer styles and how the can art is. Pilsners are so basic. But I'm starting to develop a liking for that yeast maltiness. I'm not exactly sure which it is because I'm not that skilled. But this beer has it. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but it probably was. I do like this beer. This is a good IPA. Oh man, I'm in the fours. I'm at a 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Yeah, 4.5. Illuminated Brewworks Kreeper India Pale Ale. Man, as far as like your basic IPA goes, I swear if they put, again, this, I'm going to bring this up, if they put this in a 12-ounce can and sold it in 6-packs, I'd probably buy it pretty often as far as being a standard IPA. The problem with Illuminated is everything like is a premium.
Right.
There is no standard drinker.
No, but this is the closest, and we agree on that point. This is the closest you would have to being a standard drinker.
Mm-hmm.
It's at a non-standard price point, though.
Yeah, right.
So it's interesting. I look at this guy is a complete dirty televangelist.
Yeah, televangelist.
1970s.
Yeah,
I know JT explained the furrow in his eyebrows. I think that could be like an upside down cross.
Okay.
And this guy could be like a motivator for a Christian type of
like an anti-Christian type of thing.
Yeah. Ideology. It's interesting because he looks wholesome. Maybe that's where the Kreeper comes from. But the interesting thing, we have two diverse interpretations of, because I looked at that and I noticed that right away. Maybe some of my music choices and some of the history that I've had, but he's looking, and it supports JT's theory of where he's looking. I think he's looking out on his congregation.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So that's just my theory, and he just made something. Those teeth aren't real. Those are definitely like fake or
veneers.
Real dentures. My father had dentures, so it's just like where it's emboldened there, and it the face narrows or whatever. But anyways, about that, I don't get anything of the wants to show you his pet reptile. So JT's explanation and his theory is more aligned with the description. It doesn't like say that this guy is a televangelist of any point, but I just get that feeling. And maybe I just associate Kreeper with televangelism.
Yeah.
So anyways, about the beer. Off the top rope, I'm not going to laud this beer as much as JT. It is a really good beer. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to steal something from Cobra a couple of weeks ago when he was describing, this is a one-note IPA. Hmm. And there's no complexity to it to me, maybe in my undiscerning tongue, it's a bitter IPA, so I like that you're drinking an IPA. Mm-hmm. It's completely clean and clear. But the last thing I wrote down on my notes before JT started talking was I definitely get a Pils feel with this beer.
It's weird.
And that might be some of the cleanliness. It wouldn't surprise me if this beer is very close to being produced in German purity laws because there's no gimmick to it. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it comes in at 6% kind of supports that because when you're pretty close to German purity laws, you're not going to raise the alcohol content too much. This could be like if you like more of like a bitter, like, hey, I'm gonna have a beer like late 70s, early 80s, kind of like where the art, but you didn't want a lager or a pilsner or something like that. This would be a great go-to beer for that like place and time. That's where I agree with you. Illuminated definitely knew what they were doing with this, and they put in a bunch of hops that I haven't heard. We've had Nelson hopped beer, Nelson Sauvignon beers before. They came in the bomber, like really pretentious, if you will. Mm-hmm. But the other one, the Hallertown and the Meridian, I can't recall. Maybe they were there. But this is a good beer. But again, we've done 6 podcasts of Illuminated. This is probably my lowest Illuminated beer. So this is where I have to start ranking them against themselves a little bit. So that's where I, off the top rope, I come in at a 3.75.
Well, okay.
It's
fair enough. I thought, would I choose this over one of my standards? And I have 2 standard IPAs. It's Truth and Boat Show. I might.
Really?
But I gave those 2
big
5s.
News.
I gave both those beers 5s.
And those are for different reasons, too.
Yeah.
Because in craft beer news, they were talking, hey, I wanted to bring somebody an IPA. I wanted to bring someone an IPA from Southwest Ohio.
Yeah.
And there was a huge argument that erupted between Boat Show and Truth.
I'm glad it's between those 2.
And some other people tossed
some other bullshit.
Yeah, threw in some other stuff too, or whatever.
It's wrong. Whatever it is, it's wrong.
So, but it's okay because I have a buddy that drinks Boat Show exclusively when he drinks IPAs. Won't touch a Truth.
Wow.
But it's okay to have that difference, So this is very, and by the way, this is very like alpha acid, the bitterness or whatever, the hops forward. So if you like that in an IPA, this is your jam.
It disappears immediately. Like that bitterness, that hoppiness, it disappears instantly off your tongue.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. No, it doesn't linger.
It doesn't linger.
It's good, and for Illuminated, they do gimmick beer as well, correct?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
For them to come back down to earth and do something very... I don't want to say, because there's a lot of thought in, construction that goes into this, but to do something not as intricate...
Oh, this is intricate. Let me give you I don't know if this is a metaphor or an analogy. I think it's more... I don't know which one it is, but let me tell you who Illuminated is.
Yeah.
They're Matt Damon.
Okay.
In that one where he's at Harvard.
Yeah.
What's that movie called? The Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, Good Will Hunting.
They're and I wish Matt Damon had more of a punk rock attitude, because basically there's all these rocket scientists who are making beer and they're like, yeah, this beer is great. It came to me when you said the pretentious beer we had with the Nelson Sauvignon or whatever.
Sauvignon.
And basically, there's all these, important people with their suits and their, fucking monocles making beer. And Illuminated skates up on a skateboard, with ripped shorts and what's up, and they win the whole fucking thing if it's a competition or whatever.
Yeah.
And they know all the math and they're just writing it on the chalkboard like Matt Damon. That's Illuminated. That's how I feel, because they package beer that could be in a pretentious package, but they put it in this with this fucking guy.
With this fucking guy.
That's what they do. And they're like,
I'd like to talk to the artist.
We scienced the shit out of this beer and we put it in this can.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what they did.
And full circle. So you went from Good Will Hunting to The Martian. Right there in your Matt Damon.
We scienced the shit out of it. That's right. I forgot about that.
Well done.
Yeah,
well done,
that
sir.
was totally on accident.
No, that was not. That was your lizard brain.
Yeah. Eating potatoes and grown in human shit.
You couldn't do it?
Oh, I could totally do it. I mean...
It doesn't bother me.
I think I would have the same...
I eat food off
I don't have the same knowledge as a botanist, but I think I have the same will to live. I don't know... People are ready to die. This is going to get dark as fuck. People are ready to die at certain ages. I don't know that I'll ever reach that age.
Where you're ready to die.
I want to just live forever. Like, I like being here.
You're young. You're 26.
Yeah. Maybe when I'm 85, I'll be like, I'm ready to die. Kill me.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, he had a will to live. I think I'd have the same will. I'd figure it out. I'd eat some shit potatoes.
So, he had the same will?
I mean,
so you went from Good Will Hunting to The Martian,
back to Will.
Wow.
It's not your fault.
Can you throw in, what's the zoo movie? We Bought a Zoo?
I never saw that one. But I do like Matt Damon. Is there any quotable lines from the Boston one that he's in? Well, he's in a couple. The one with Jack Nicholson.
Oh, The Departed?
The Departed, yeah.
He was a bad guy in The Departed.
He was. Everyone's a bad guy in The Departed.
Really?
Who's a good guy?
Leo?
Leo? Maybe. What was the other guy? Wahlberg? Mark Wahlberg?
Well, they just got him because he can talk like he's from home.
Yeah, right. He just shows up to set in his normal clothes, and they're like, "All right, you're on. No makeup needed." I did like that movie, but
The Departed,
really only for that crazy ending.
Well, that's where everyone came out, and it was stolen. It was a Japanese movie that had been out for a long time.
I could see that. Like Scorsese, you know, there's case, and I'm no music or movie buff, but I am a music buff. I'm no movie buff, but you know, there are times where in a Scorsese movie where I'm like, the dialogue here is just like excessive. This isn't how men talk to each other.
He loves himself too much, or he loves the process too much. Yeah. Because most of his movies are. What's the speaking of Leo movies? What's the one on the island? Shutter Island.
Oh, Shutter Island.
That's a slog. I can't get through that one. That's a
I don't know that I have. I think I did start it.
I've fallen asleep so many times.
But I will acknowledge that I think once my kids are at a certain age where it's appropriate to show them Wolf of Wall Street, which will probably be in their late teens, I'm gonna make that a yearly tradition on New Year's to watch.
On New Year's,
I love that movie. I just want an excuse to watch it. But there is a New Year's part of that movie, I believe, right before the Quaaludes part. I think is New Year's.
Yeah. So this is where Margot Robbie is hot, but not striking. She's hot.
But not striking. Yeah. She's. Yeah.
I'm not prepared to defend hot or striking because there are women that are just striking.
There are women that you would take home to mom, and there are women who are hot.
I would not take Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie has that erotic hotness.
So taking home to mom is implied that if you take her home, your mom's going to think that you're banging a slut or something like that. Correct?
Taking home to mom, what you want to take home to mom is a wholesome woman who has the.
So you don't think
the characteristics of a future mom, a future wife, a family woman. Margot Robbie has the, in that movie in particular, she has the illusion of, we're just going to trailblaze the world on our yacht and just fuck. And there will be drama, constant drama. And there is constant drama. Probably a lot of cocaine. And that's Margot Robbie's character. And she plays it well. She looks the part.
Yeah, the leg splitting scene, not since Basic Instinct with, not Pfeiffer. It's going to come to me.
But yeah, I love that movie. It's so good. And I hated Jonah Hill the first time I watched it. The second time,
he's magic.
I feel like I was like, wow.
He's
like magical. He nailed it. He nailed this dumbass character.
Magical.
Fucking perfect. This whole married my cousin thing.
That guy's
love it.
Jordan Belfort is still in
he does a lot of conferences and stuff.
Because that's where he should do. I mean, like I think it really encapsulates, even though it turns it up to 11, it really encapsulates how he's able to like talk to the masses and get people emboldened behind selling people literal shit. And then Bernie Madoff happened. So Bernie Madoff had $5 billion in his account at one time. God bless. $5 billion.
Yeah.
Snake oil salesman.
I mean, he's selling nothing, but if in my professional assessment, in a pyramid scheme gone wrong,
you
can't pay that money back. So like in knives, Costco knives or Cutco knives or whatever
Cutco.
they're called. You're sending the money up, and then they're spending money on these fucking bullshit knives, and then they're giving executive salaries away. Bernie Madoff still fucked up, illegal. I'm not defending the guy. What I'm saying is, I think there's a fair amount of investors who he could have paid back, and maybe did he ever?
So there was some restitution, but not 100%
okay.
restitution. Who got the restitution? No one will ever know. But so it's interesting that you brought up Cutco knives.
Yeah.
Because in the last 2 weeks, I just had to turn down being propositioned by a Cutco knife salesman.
Oh shit.
So I was sitting there and I was drinking with my best friend, Juggalo Mikey, and all of a sudden I get a Facebook call. And it's from my sister's. He'll never listen to this.
It's always someone close.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because that's they
got
sell you on that. So, anyways, I followed his Facebook, and I'm just gonna say Jeremy. Jeremy recently got a job in like the last 6 months, and he posted on his Facebook that he was a Cutco knife salesman, and he was giving me a Facebook call. And he was with my sister for 5 years. And I love him. I consider my sister's, her current boy, and then all of her predecessors, like my older brothers, because we're very awesome. Close. I'm still friends with them. She's friends with them. Still.
She participates in long-term relationships that allow you to get to know these people.
100%, and that's the best way to put it. Good. So, anyways, I'm sitting there with Mikey. We've had a couple of drinks, and I go. He's trying, and we were talking on Discord, and he goes, "You're getting a call," and I go, "Yeah, I bet it's Head just trying to sell me his Cutco knives." So I message him on Facebook, and I go, "Hey, do you need anything?"
Yeah.
He goes, "No, just give me a call when you get the opportunity." So I let it simmer for about a beer more, and I go, "I should bring up the message because it was comedic genius."
Oh,
but when I do that, we're gonna pop into our second beer here very quickly, but because it's
this could be a whole episode.
This
I have strong opinions on these MLM bullshit businesses.
So interesting.
But I could sum it up in like one sentence.
So I go, sounds good. Everything okay? He goes, yeah, all good. I go, this is what I said to him. I go, excellent. I appreciate the shout. Outshout.
Nice. I was gonna say outshout. We haven't said that in a while.
I'll give you a blasty when I can. I have the next 2 weeks off, so I might be able to pencil you in. As long as you're not trying to sell me a set of full-tanged Cutco knives. And I put all capitals.
Yep.
Correct?
Full-tanged, 'D. Hell yeah.
And he goes, I am. He goes, at least I'm an honest Injun because he's a full-blooded Native American. I go, fantastic. I go, there's a 40% chance he's trying to sell me these knives. Mm-hmm. So anyways, 2 messages later was he tried to send me.
Yep, Cutco cutlery and kitchen knives.
So I admit they are awesome knives. They're awesomely expensive though, and I am not interested. I just bought a brand new knife block here in July. I know it's a terrible story, but
no, that's a good story.
You said
knife
Cutco,
blocks are a touchy subject with Matt. At least I feel.
So
we had those Ginsu knives.
Ginsu. So if you look. That's the guy who sent me the Cutco. Look at the guy above him in my Facebook messages.
Yeah, I was gonna mention. We have a friend who's done some Cutco work, and he's really a fan of it.
They are good knives.
People typically walk away from Cutco with a positive experience.
Who's got $1,300?
I don't want my friend selling me shit at all. Knives or fucking makeup or shampoo or whatever.
If he needed $100 because he was poor, homeless, or whatever, I'm sending him $100. I have no problem. But the fact that he tried to sell me without knowing my knife situation, I guess that's
people need to know your knife situation. But I know your knife situation clearly because we're friends. And I know you just got a new knife block.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is my best friend because he's been working 15 years at the same hospital, he got the same knife block 2 weeks after I bought mine. Because he chose it from... coincidentally, yep. No.
Wow, that's incredible. What kind of knife block is it?
J. Henkel.
J. Henkel, never heard of it. I don't know a lot about knives.
So full-tanged because the knife block set that we got for our wedding was not full-tanged. And we're from Wisconsin.
What does that mean?
So the blade or the metal goes all the way to the hilt. Or the bottom.
Okay. Oh, I thought all blocks were like that.
Huh?
Not all blocks are like that?
Oh, my goodness.
I've never owned a block that didn't
for a knife? Oh yeah, no. So the ones we had were Chicago Cutlery.
Yeah,
and they just had the bump. So like it just.
So there's a knife sticking out, a blade sticking out of your block.
No. I'm talking about the actual knife. Mm-hmm. So the knife, the blade comes out.
And it
meets the handle.
Yeah.
So a full tang is that metal goes all the way through to the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I understand.
So the Chicago Cutlery one we had, it had a nub.
Yeah, it has a nub and it's like a little screw or whatever, a peg.
Yeah, these were just glued. So it was a highly rated knife. So, like the chef's knife and everything, I'm looking at the steak knives because we don't cut with a chef's knife for cheese, at least.
Yeah.
So we go through a block of cheese.
Cheese, you don't cut with a knife.
Yeah. So
you cut with a string.
So yeah. So we have we have multiple cheese slicers, but it's easier to grab that.
But I'm not.
So the Chicago,
you can cut cheese with whatever.
The Chicago Cutlery knives are at my cabin, and proud to have them up there. But I needed something with a full tang. Yeah. Well, no, but like the nice knives, the high knives. So the chef knife, the bread knife, the fillet knife. Those are all full tanged.
Okay.
A little more heavy duty.
Yeah.
The steak knives, though, just fucking nub.
Just
nub.
You shake it and it wobbles.
Yeah.
That's
when you do the rubber.
Exactly.
Rubber pencil trick. Because we're old.
But Cutco doesn't do that.
Yeah,
I've never touched a Cutco knife. I don't.
Full tang.
I don't let myself get.
And the good thing with Cutco is, if you ever have a problem with it, they'll send somebody to your house to fucking sharpen it.
Sell you some more shit.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not that their products aren't good. I know the shampoos are good. I know that
they do shampoo.
Not Cutco, but there's MLMs. Multi-level marketing for those who aren't informed. There's Mary Kay is one. I think there's probably a food one, protein shake one. There's all kinds of stuff out there that basically...
We're going to try something new. Let's crack this beer. You keep that, and then we'll get to it. But MLM, sorry.
I fucked that up. Just correct it.
Right. So MLMs.
MLMs, there's a good podcast about MLMs you should listen to. I'll get the name of it for next week. They're basically, they're pyramid schemes. They call them MLMs now because it sounds like way better.
I use essential oils.
Scheme. Essential oils is a good one.
Yep.
They're probably fine products. That's not my argument. My argument is that I don't want my friends, one, selling me products, and two, I don't want my friends having to put their own money out for shit that they might not be able to sell. And that's the real catch of a pyramid scheme is that you're buying what you have to sell. Any legitimate business will provide you with the supplies. Any legitimate sales company will do that. And if you're not, then you're not legitimate. And that's just my opinion.
I agree with you. We don't try to... We love we use them mostly 90% of the time to diffuse, and we don't use them for medicinal purposes. I know there's people that have had many successes with it. We never try to sell them for any, we never try to sell them. We just use them for personal use. And I've got a diffuser going over there right now. So I just like, as even a preteen, I was burning incense all the time. I just like things being
Incense are great.
So
if you ever go to Second and Charles, they have great incense.
But but some of the stuff has properties that I've seen work positively or whatever. But yeah, that's something. It's just in my life, we never try to sell to anyone. We're like, hey, we tell people, hey, if you like this is where we got it.
Yeah. We're not as a business, Cutco knives probably could succeed at in an Amazon centric business model, or even like a Walmart or maybe even in a more upscale store. Like, what's upscale? I don't know. I don't shop. JCPenney's.
Are you talking
Pure
kitchen
One.
stuff?
Sure.
Williams and Sonoma.
I think Cutco could succeed, but they choose not to, and I think that's fucked up because they're choosing to fuck their own, basically, contractors, their employees.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
They have to be succeeding, though, because otherwise they don't...
They've been around forever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But there's how many hotel conference rooms are they renting out to give these stupid fucking pitches? Just like a timeshare about, come work for us. You'll be your own boss.
Yeah.
You know where else would be your own boss? Unemployed.
Unemployed. But,
you can do whatever you want.
No, I'm excited. I just got a couple of Williams-Sonoma gift cards for Christmas.
Oh man, that's great. Man,
from my Chuggalo mom.
People just must not think I'm a Williams and Sonoma kind of guy.
So here's my quick Williams-Sonoma story. Since we're just talking about random stuff, I love it.
I love it too.
We got two booze boards. You know what booze boards are?
Nope.
Cutting boards. Booze boards.
Okay. I never heard that term.
BOOS.
Nope, never heard it. But I know what a cutting board is.
You know, okay, yeah. So it's like the creme de la creme of cutting boards.
Yeah, I've heard Williams and Sonoma cutting boards are like...
Yeah, but they're booze boards.
The best.
So it's not Williams Sonoma. You can get booze boards wherever, but it's just...
I didn't know.
So anyways, we got two of the same boards, and we didn't need them. So the one came from Williams Sonoma, and the closest one to us is in Cincinnati. So we're like, we'll return it.
Yeah.
So we drive all the way down there, and this is the only thing, we're going to go return this board.
Wow.
And if you've ever looked at Williams-Sonoma, things are pretty
crazy
because it's nice.
Yeah.
So we get there. This board was discontinued. It was $23.
Ooh, that's the worst.
But it's massive.
That's always the case.
It's massive. It's half this table, this board, and I have the other one upstairs.
I feel like that's always the case, especially when you get something for the holidays. Like on December 26th at 12:01 a.m.
Everything.
They just mark everything down to like stupid prices.
It's the time to buy clothes.
But only for returns. Like, you go to buy it and it's like $40, but you return it and it's like $6. Why is this discounted so much? Nothing's ever discounted this much when I'm buying it.
It was because it was discontinued, but we drove down there. This was our sole purpose.
Discontinued, in the arts community means like this is premium shit.
Yeah.
You can't find this anywhere. But it's Williams and Sonoma.
So we just didn't need two of them, and love booze boards. If you use them, they're high quality and everything. But so anyways, on to the beer.
Great conversation.
So this is from Saugatuck Brewing Company. Do you know where Saugatuck is?
Yeah, Michigan. Been there. I went to a summer camp there.
So the interesting thing,
twice,
we did Saugatuck on the podcast.
This is.
I have no history of, besides it being in the spreadsheet. I didn't score the beer. You didn't score the beer. Cobra didn't score the beer.
Do you know which beer was it?
Episode 73. Oh, I didn't write down which beer it was. It was the week after I brought. So I think it was the week before you guys did the Crooked Handle episode. Because that was episode 74.
Oh, so it was way back then?
Yeah.
Saugatuck. I don't know. I'll look on their Untapped while you're talking.
So I can go get it quick. Here, you dance.
Oh, you have
I have it up.
You have the can?
We never scored it.
All right.
So anyways, you talk.
Yeah, I'll talk. Saugatuck, Michigan is actually a nice little area. They have a lot of land. I went there for summer camp twice actually. And I remember it because you had to have a spending account to shop at the concession stand. And my account, it had a little bit of money in it. And I'm pretty sure I spent it all on Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Because that's just the kind of guy I am.
Blueberry Maple Sour.
Oh, Blueberry Maple Sour. Don't remember it.
Okay. I
acted like I did.
So anyways, more information. So again, we did it on episode 73. But it's the weirdest thing because for all those Crooked Handle beers that you guys did, I don't have any ratings for those. But I have this beer.
I'll go listen to that.
I'll have this beer written down. It'll be the first time, remembering it. But I remember driving through northern Wisconsin listening to that. You can find out more information at saugatuckbrewing.com. But again, it is Saugatuck, Michigan. I bought this beer. So this makes me wonder if I was even here for it. I bought this beer because I have a crazy memory like that. But I listed my name. So I bought this beer specifically when I was back in Wisconsin. Because it's like, that's a brewery we haven't heard of, and it's going to be something I'm going to be able to pair. So this is Saugatuck Brewing Cottonmouth Crusher. So when you think of Michigan, you definitely think of cottonmouth snakes. Said no one ever.
That's what they say.
And it's a raspberry sour ale. This, ironically, also comes in at 6%. There's a bunch of cool artwork to talk about once JT gets to that point of view. I'm going to talk about that. But Here's I told JT there's two things I have. We're gonna talk about packaging trends, and we're gonna talk about something else that I didn't want to tip my hand till we got to that beer. So if you go to the website again, saugatuckbrewing.com, their theme is here's to happy. And the second one is brewed on premises. And they say it multiple times on their website. Mm-hmm. So this is my question to you. Is that going to become more of a thing as you have contract brewers like Untitled Art and that brew just out of places like Wanakee, where it's not a brewer. They just, you give me your receipt, I brew it exactly the way you say it, and it's packaged, but I'm not coming up with anything. I'm not adding. So is that going to become more of a thing because it's
brewed on premises,
emphasized on this website? That's a
really good
brewed
question.
on premises.
I guess we'd have to look into if Saugatuck does a lot of the collaborations. Mm-hmm. They do?
So they have multiple locations, like tap rooms and wherever. So if you Google Saugatuck Brewing, it comes up with multiple red dots. But so are you going with it that they're not reaching out to the community as a whole? They're just saying, this one is brewed
This
internal.
one we did. Yeah.
So other ones, maybe they use a contract brewer.
Yeah, we contract out or we collaborate. And I'm guessing
you went internal with it. I went external.
Yeah. Sometimes I think with the collaborations, especially with the smaller guys, they say, okay, let's collaborate, and then you brew it. We'll do this at your facility.
Do they? Do you think they? I'm going to take it one step further. Yeah. Do they go stop, collaborate, beer?
Listen. Yeah, they do. Listen. They do. I'm guessing they do because they're from Michigan, and Vanilla Ice is from Detroit, I believe.
Is he?
I think that
Kid Rock is from.
Kid Rock is and the Insane.
Who came from?
Insane Clown Posse is from Detroit.
Really?
That's for sure. That's a guarantee.
They had way too polarizing, even though
yeah,
Kid Rock did not come from the trailer.
No, but ICP and I think Kid Rock were on the same side. Eminem, they didn't get along. They butted heads. There are a lot of Detroit rap things.
I like hardcore Pawn better than I like Pawn Stars.
Do you?
I just, even though it's super manufactured, I liked it better.
Hardcore Pawn's manufactured, but I feel like
I like less gold.
Man, this is great. This is great conversation.
We're all over the place.
Pawn Stars, to me, is more Antiques Roadshow than Pawn. You're going to see some shit that you never thought you'd see. And they're good for, 3-4 minute clips. You're taking a shit. You watch a couple Pawn Stars clips on YouTube. Boom, done. You move on with your life. And now you know how much, some gold coin from the 17th century is worth.
Doubloon.
Perfect. Yeah, doubloon. But the other one, that's a show.
Hardcore Pawn.
About the people.
It's about the people.
It's not about the stuff. Whereas Pawn Stars, I think, is about the stuff. Yeah. It's an Antiques Roadshow.
I love people.
Knockoff.
I love people arguing about the price of a destroyed fucking couch.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So somebody obviously died on that couch.
Yeah, right.
Or
somebody and a few animals.
It shows also the opposite side of the business. So I like how you're rare things versus I want my JVC Kaboom box, and I pawn this. Where the so you don't see on Pawn Stars people coming to get their stuff out of pawn.
Right. No.
Where you see that on Hardcore Pawn, people are like, I want my opal ring. It's my grandma's ring,
Yeah.
So you see that. So there's multiple different sides where it's a different formula.
Yeah, it's still totally different.
It's going to be a pawn shop.
Yeah.
But, Hardcore Pawn, they're complete greasers, less gold. Yeah. It's big gold chain. His son is terrible. His the daughter looks, but on the other side, besides Chumley's there for comedic.
He has grown. Have you seen?
Well, I like how you say he's grown. He's actually shrunk.
Oh no, he's shrunk in physical size, but he's grown on the show.
Yeah,
because he is probably the most knowledgeable on modern stuff,
100%.
Shoes, toys, things like that. Media. Have you seen or heard of Slobby's World?
No.
You need to check this shit out. Okay, so there's this millennial dude who just he garage sales, and this guy buys the craziest shit.
Yeah.
Champion sweaters from the 90s for 5 cents, and he sells them for like $500. Like, he's so good at identifying what from the 90s is collectible, and he's annoying as fuck. I hate the shit out of him. But this guy's really good at making money.
He sounds like he's from Chicago, Slavi.
No, where is he? It's got to be, those
Jersey?
states up there.
Oh.
Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, Ohio. Somewhere in that region is where this guy operates. I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
Somewhere in the Midwest, the Mid-Northwest.
Because that was a, what was the show?
Not the Northwest. The Midwest North. North Midwest.
Garage Hunters or...
oh, yeah. Once Pawn Stars came out, there was like a million of them. There was the one where people bought suitcases from the airport. Remember that?
No, I didn't see that. The one where people bought rental units or storage
Wars. Storage Wars. That's actually a pretty good show.
Yeah, that's one.
I like that show.
I always I didn't like the short guy with the glasses. I like the guy with the sun. Of course, everyone loved the old guy that was probably a mobster.
He's already a millionaire because he's driving these crazy ass cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I agree. Yeah.
That guy, he was just like, hey, I wouldn't surprise me if that guy's killed over 100 people.
Yeah.
I wish we had names, but everyone...
Barry. His name's Barry. Yeah. I watched that show a lot in San Diego.
Barry had a hard life and was like, you know what, fuck it.
He's like, I'm just going to buy storage units now.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's what he did.
So anyways, Saugatuck Brewing Company's Cottonmouth Crusher.
That was good.
This is a raspberry sour ale. It comes in at 6%. I've got about 3 ounces left. Mm-hmm. So, JT, I want you to hit us with the can art boner segment.
I have to look up something real quick.
That's okay. I can dance at the same time.
I'll say this while I Google. You say that cottonmouths are not synonymous with Michigan. What snake it would be? If I said snake Michigan, what would you say?
A grass snake.
A grass snake? What about a water moccasin?
No, because that's the same thing as a cottonmouth.
Oh, I didn't know if you knew that. I didn't know that before today.
A cottonmouth is like a southern or a swamp snake. So I would be very surprised if there's cottonmouths that were native north of the Mason-Dixon line. I'd be very shocked.
Okay. There's an album cover, and I'm just not getting it here. What is this?
Oh, it's like a hair band or a rock band.
There's definitely an album cover here, and I can't fucking figure it out. And I really want it. I thought there's a British band called You, Me at 6, and there's a similar album, but it's not quite it. It's not what I was thinking. Oh, man, there's an album cover here. I just cannot fucking figure it out. But yeah, so I didn't know that cottonmouths. I don't know anything about snakes really. Cottonmouths are vipers. They're vipers, and they're water moccasins. That sounds scary as fuck to me.
Well, yeah,
there's a lot of water in Michigan. There's enough water in Michigan.
But they're that's why they're too cold of a snake. It's too cold of a climate. So you need a place where they can remain.
Where do they go? They migrate?
So no, they don't migrate. So they burrow down down into the mud because it doesn't lose its heat when it's under a bit. But so that's why they exist more in a
like a cold climate.
More of a temperate, because you can't say Mediterranean, but more, that's why I'm saying like southern swamp or whatever, where there's deeper mud, where like you get off the shore or whatever in like the glacial created lakes or whatever like that, it's going to be like sediment and compacted dirt. There's there's no mud.
Okay. Well, I was not familiar with the cottonmouth snake, and I would make the general assumption that you'd find
white snake.
White snake? No, not that.
I know it's not.
Yeah, I would make the assumption that you'd find the cottonmouth in, like the Arizona region.
No, that's a rattlesnake.
Yeah, I know there's rattlesnakes, but I'd also think that
cottonmouth is a water.
When you go, there's Six Flags in Gurnee, Illinois, and there's a roller coaster called the Viper, and the Viper has a very desert theme to it. But really, what it should have is a more Michigan theme to it. Should have a more Saugatuck, Michigan theme. It should be compacted dirt, clay type dirt, not this dry wood, old, gold mining town type feel to it. That's what that ride has.
So that was the one I thought of, but
Okay.
it's not biting. So that's a Pantera, the
That's
Great
what
Southern
I
Trend
thought,
Kill,
yeah.
but it's not the one I was thinking of. The Killer in Me. Yeah, see, there's other ones,
Okay. Yeah.
but not like mainstream. There's something
Not
that went
mainstream.
like
Here's the
platinum.
mainstream thing. The Cottonmouth Kings. That's what I thought of when I saw this.
the
beer.
KK.
The KK.
Because Cottonmouth Kings.
KM. Yeah, it's KMK.
They just went KK though.
Oh, they did.
Cottonmouth is.
Oh,
all
I
over.
didn't know. I had funny story. I had tickets to a Cottonmouth Kings concert
Yeah, you did.
with my buddy ShamWow, who I call Shambo.
It's ShamWow.
Probably one of the greatest dudes I've ever known in my life.
He
I really need to reconnect. Gosh, he's just such a great friend.
He could be second to Jimmy John in the Empire.
Yeah, he's not anymore. Now he does. I think he works for a HVAC type company.
Okay, well,
But he was really
he was number
so he was
two.
working his way up, and and this is really, I think it's a problem with a lot of companies. He was good at Jimmy John's as far as management goes,
and he cared.
and he was really good at his job, and he was accountable, which is probably the most difficult attribute to find in a person.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you don't have a degree, so you can't move up. But he was ready. He was there. He was already doing the job of his superiors, and so I think he moved on. But anyway, great dude, awesome guy. So him and I, in I want to say 2004, 2005, we went and got some Cottonmouth Kings concert tickets at the House of Blues in Chicago. We drove with, what was this guy's first name? I don't remember his first name. His last name, Johnstone. We drove down to, I know he's got a brother. It's not his brother. It's the older one.
Curtis.
Nope. His brother's name, I don't want to say it because it's podcast and we're famous. But
Okay.
I don't remember the one who drove. We were in this little red car. We drove all the way down to the House of Blues. We got these tickets, and the fucking concert got canceled for some reason, and I don't remember why. But it was something that like we all. It wasn't 9/11 because it was too far after that. It was already like 04, 05 time frame. I don't remember why.
COVID.
Maybe it was like Hurricane Katrina or something. Like stopped their tour.
That was 2005.
2005. So maybe that interrupted the tour. I don't remember exactly why. But the concert was actually on my birthday, and we were gonna go see the Cottonmouth Kings, which I don't know a single song by the Cottonmouth Kings. But I was willing to go. It was gonna be insane. I was gonna go in the Navy very soon after. So I probably would have been kicked out for inhaling secondhand smoke.
Newports.
Yeah, it wasn't
Watch out.
I wasn't a big fan of partaking in what they were partaking in. The Cottonmouth syndrome.
Yeah.
But I would have been around enough of it probably. Anyway, story short, Cottonmouth Kings. That's what this reminded me of. The artwork is something. It is good. So what this says three things. There's snake teeth. Let me show the camera here. This is actually a more complicated can than what it appears to at first. I wish there was better light over here. Let me try to maybe back it up.
I
think that's probably okay. Yeah, we can do that. There you go. All right, so and I'll come back to the microphone. There's snake fangs inside of what could be a liquidy splash of rose, but the rose is actually made of raspberries. And there's a snake tongue, which is really a cartoonish element to this otherwise pretty realistic depiction of raspberries splashing into a middle cup of raspberry juice. I don't even know, but the middle part, the font's cool. Cottonmouth Crusher Raspberry Sour Ale. The teeth and the tongue, they're a little cartoony, but everything else is pretty good. Now, when I saw this can, I thought this art is promising to deliver something, and I hope it does. So, raspberry has two flavors. There's the raspberry fruit. and there's everything else that's raspberry. Everything else by raspberry jelly, jelly donuts, raspberry candies. They all have a different taste than actual raspberries. And I wanted raspberry jelly donut. That's what I wanted. I don't think they disappointed. But that's the can art. It's got a green kind of tile. I actually just learned about this tile style called... I forgot already. There's a specific Cincinnati tile. Do you know what it is?
No.
I'll find it. But this can has the tile kind of illusion. It's not from Ohio, and it's probably scales. But it looks like the tile that I just learned about. Anyway, that's the Can Art Bonus segment brought to you by whomever. The beer itself, pretty dull on the top. So you probably need to mix it around, roll it, whatever. It does get a little bit more fruity as you go down the can. And as it warms up. We've been talking for a while.
Yeah.
Like about a lot of shit. This beer's better probably in the 40 to 50 degree range, I think. Then it was cold when you gave it to me. It was like in the 30 something degree range. It was really cold. It's better now. It's got more flavor. It's not... I don't know if I can keep knocking these beers down for not being sour enough. Because it's really promising to be a raspberry sour. It's not promising to be like a raspberry super sour. But I do want more sour. This beer is pretty good. It's fruity. It has a deliciousness to it. There's nothing off-putting about it. I just don't think there's anything that's like screaming for more, like come back to me. So I'm at a 3.75. It's a good beer. It's not a great beer.
Fantastic.
6%. Did you ever say that? Okay. I don't know if you said it. 6%.
6%. Yeah. That. So I looked because both beers we did today 6%.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So off the top rope, the interesting thing today, JT and I are completely in first. Off the top rope, this is a 4.5 for me.
Wow. Yeah.
This is delicious. That's just what I come up with. This is super crushable. I like that. So we we make our daughters lunches every day, and we're on a raspberry kick right now because the girls like raspberries. This has got more viscosity. So a raspberry is known for like a brief moment of flavor, then it sticks with you. But it doesn't have like a lot of acids like a cherry would. But so this flavor sticks with you more than an actual raspberry would. So that's part of the brewing process. I know because I was just about to run upstairs and get a bunch of raspberries, but I know that I just put the last raspberries into my daughter's lunches yesterday. And then, so it's got, like I said, more viscosity than a normal fruit. This is fantastic.
I think it's pretty liquidy.
Yeah, but I mean, like the flavor, the raspberry. I'm done with the beer, so I'm rating the beer, and this just goes to show you that we've been talking for a long time.
Yeah,
I'm rating the beer, and I'm done with it. And it's a pint can, so it's not like we had a shorty or something like that or a grenade. Absolutely enjoy this beer. I'm fairly certain now, going through my mind, that I wasn't here for the last Saugatuck Brewing Company. I just happened to write it down, and so if we ever drink these guys again, I will give a great history, but I feel like we gave a good heads up with their quote, "Here's to happy." That's, just a kind of a forlorn or not forlorn, but like a wanderlust type brewery. And then we really went into their brewed on premises. But the fact that it's made in Michigan is amazing, probably top 10 beer producing state, especially in this area. I would go to war almost with Michigan and Ohio on who produces better beer. That might be something we need to have.
We could do a full episode. About
we could definitely do and because I'm going to tip my hand a little bit. I'm leaning towards Michigan.
Are you?
Yeah. With Bell's.
I don't know.
Dark Horse.
I think Bell's is fine.
So anyway,
I know it's the top beer.
but it's good to have a difference of opinion.
Yeah,
but,
it is.
And like I said, we're completely inverse today, like on our scores. 37545 and then a 45375. But this beer is delightful. I'm glad I brought a couple of these from Wisconsin. Glad I bought this beer. So and gave it the extra trip back down here to Ohio. But insanely impressed. Again, that raspberry taste, as I'm still talking and going through this or whatever, that's what resonates on my palate right now. Is completely the raspberry and a little bit of the high tart. So not like the low, like cheek pinching stuff, but like I just had a fresh fruit and it's in more in the higher part of my mouth. But I really enjoy this beer and I look forward to drinking these two more so than the other two, illuminated creepers that I have.
It's a good way to put it. What you look more forward to. Yeah, it's fine. It's good beer.
Good beer. But that's what I had.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I had. We
were all over the place.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Pawn Stars, but I decided maybe we just do that earlier today. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't want to talk about that.
That's what you would have brought to pre-production?
No, I didn't bring anything to pre-production. We haven't had a segment 3 in a while, and maybe I'll bring one back. Jeopardy! I think the 6th tomorrow is Alex Trebek's last episode.
That's what I've heard. So that is somewhat topical, especially with the mole people. We just Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah.
We're officially in 2021, so we have been recording. So this is our 4th year because we started in 2018. So 2019, 2020, and 2021. So that's sad news, especially for two trivia guys. But the interesting thing, and to put that back on its end, is I feel like before we were much more not labored in our beer descriptions, but now it comes more freely.
Yeah.
That it really shorts potentially the segment 3.
Yeah.
So it's nice when we know we have it there, because I think all three of us upend that a little bit. But it's nice too, because then it just erupts in conversation about shit that I enjoy, but maybe the Chuggalos don't care about, and really we should cater the other way. But I really enjoyed the conversation about kitchen,
whatever,
just random. I mean, could
That's
you say
about.
Pop culture, But I
just
don't
life.
think
just America.
Just life. Americana,
yeah. If you're drinking beer and you're not, talking about these types of things, really, what are you doing?
Right.
What's the point?
So I'm, it's just excited, and I will say this now that we're going into the new year, and that's what I was going to translate this into. Yeah. I am drinking less because the last 2 weeks I had off, and I was killing.
Yeah.
I was killing the beer. I was killing the liquor, and now this will be my last drink probably until this weekend.
Wow.
Which is I know it's we record on Tuesdays. Yeah. There's no secret.
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna keep happening.
But I think I'm done till probably Saturday.
2020 was a low drinking year for me. I don't know that I'll drink more in 2021, especially if all this shit lasts forever. Like COVID and stuff. But it just was a low year for me, 2020. I think if I can go to some bars and hang out with some friends, I'll probably drink more. When I went to Chicago, I drank with Bobby, who's not really a Chuggalo.
Yeah.
But we had a decent amount of beer.
Did it feel good though to do it, just in the actual social context?
Yeah, it did. It felt good.
Because
to drink like this, yeah.
Because in the last 2 weeks, I did a lot of Zoom calls or Skype or whatever, and I was just there was a couple of nights, and I missed 2 episodes ago, where it's just a bunch of us catching up. There was a guy that I hadn't talked to since 2007, and he reminded me of that. So we just started cracking drinks.
Yeah.
And,
that's awesome.
And then the next night, it would just be another group of friends. And it's just how it happened, and then the holidays happened, and,
I think in that sense, there's some change that's coming. And I think drinking in front of your computer is a new thing that will stay.
Love it.
I think it will stay.
I love it.
But when we are allowed to go out again in mass, I think there will be a lot of that. A lot of celebration. A lot of babysitters making a lot of money.
The fiscally responsible person to me is like, I've enjoyed just drinking, knowing that everyone's home safe.
Yeah.
And I can just crack whatever. And I've, when you keep a good bar, this is why you keep a good bar.
Yeah, this is why you do it. But can you replace that in-person experience?
No, it sucks, but I consider it the 80% solution.
Yeah, it is. It is really good. And, oftentimes it's really good. It's a really good solution.
Yeah.
I think drinking online is a really awesome thing. That came from COVID.
So, and just, staying connected,
Yeah. I mean, you saw a guy you hadn't seen since 2007. Chances are, if you were in person, you went out with your friends that night in wherever, Eau Claire.
Yeah.
Right?
He spent 6 years in Antarctica, so.
Oh, shit.
So
this is like a scientist.
Yeah. So, no, he was a cook for the scientists.
Oh, he cooked for the scientists.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So.
I mean, hey, he's a scientist.
Really good dude, and we started, just talking about horror movies and then music, and it just was all over the place. And it was a huge group of us.
Yeah.
So it was, everyone having
awesome.
to share mic time.
This is the type of stuff that doesn't happen in person. Sometimes those people, those exact people, don't put themselves out there physically in person.
What do you mean by those people?
Some people who've been away, they find different groups, different cliques, different friend groups and stuff.
Those people that are different.
They're different. They are different. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they're different, and it's okay to be different. It's 2021.
2021.
Be you.
Be you. 2021, episode 121.
Holy shit! It's like, holy shit! It's an explosion.
Do you know? Can you guess? Trivia question. I did the math. What year we would get to? So it's episode 121, year 2021. What year we would catch up to the actual calendar year it is?
What year?
So how many episodes would it take?
That's a good question. Okay.
I already know. I did the math.
You already did the math on this?
I already did the math.
I'm gonna do some quick math in my head. We would need to be above 2021.
Yep. Good job.
At least.
Accurate. Okay,
At
let's
least.
just eliminate. You know what? I'll help you out. I'll eliminate 1999.
It took two and a half years-ish. October is when we started, right? Of 18?
Yeah, September.
September?
Yeah, close.
So it takes about 2.5 years for every 121 episodes.
Yep.
Quick math in my head. Man, fuck, that's a long, long time. It would probably be... man.
Great
22 years? 22 years?
22 years? All right. That's all we have for this week's episode.
What is the answer?
No, stay tuned.
Did the math.
Yeah, no, stay tuned. That's why you call it cliffhanger.
That is a cliffhanger.
That's
if
a
I've ever
cliffhanger.
heard one. Like, I'm coming back.
Yeah, so you're coming back.
I'll be here next week, next Tuesday. That's insane. Well, that's it for episode 121. If you want to know how many episodes we got to do to get to match the year, come back next week, episode 122. Bye.